Hello, good afternoon everyone at Inspire Fitness Academy, one-stop shop. How are you all this afternoon? Here we are again, Thursdays. It comes around so quickly. Goodness. Well, so what are we doing today then? Doing a little tapping maybe, getting our cards out. Shall we see what, let's get the cards out, shall we? Straight away, let's get straight into it and see what wonderful well-being inspired message we have today to consider. So I'll give them a bit of a shuffle. For those of you who are familiar with me, I do these, they're lively. I do these card readings, which are really a bit of fun. They're just to prompt thoughts around what is common between us all, what we may be dealing with at this time. As a whole, you know, we're still facing announcements in this lockdown season is probably one way of describing it, and so yeah, we still are dealing with uncertainty and sort of unexpected announcements, which can really upset lots of people's plans, both personally, professionally, and however it may be. And nobody likes nobody likes this situation. So it's finding ways of being able to manage it and doing the best that we can in these circumstances. So I'm sure that the perfect card is going to reveal itself to us so that we can take this to the next level of understanding and discussion. Whoa. Okay. Are we getting there? Think so. There we go. Here we go. It's this one. And I know for some of you, it's all a bit bonkers. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, for me, it's good to have a little bonkersness in this world, because it can be a bit too serious at times, and so to be able to lighten it up and be a little more light-hearted, using methods which don't cause any harm to anyone, you know, then why not, hey? And I'd be interested to know what helps you at times of perhaps stress and pressure. It'd be really helpful to know what little tips and tricks you have up your sleeve. So, okay, interesting. Protection is our card, okay? This is our message today. And as you can see, we have like Mummy Mermaid cuddling and holding her baby mermaid. And you know, there's nothing like it, is there, to have that feeling where you are being embraced and held, and it just is so reassuring to have that. And I know it's not always possible. We're not always around people who we may want hugs from them, or maybe there's just no one around to give a hug. So as I've said before, now remember, you can give yourself a hug and make it as loving and as reassuring as you can. So we can always still do that. We can always still just give ourselves a hug. And, you know, even if you're in a position where you can't even do that physically, then use your imagination. Just see it happening in your mind's eye, and put yourself into that position of feeling it. Yeah, it all starts with the imagination. Everything starts with what you are envisioning. So it's really, you know, to be purposeful about what you are imagining can be very, very helpful. And clearly the message is to find ways of protecting yourself. And it's interesting that I opened this session acknowledging the latest announcement and what we're having to deal with, and we have to, on some level, protect ourselves, protect our businesses, protect the way that we are, and protect our feelings, and do it in a way that is strengthening ourselves, empowering ourselves, so that we can manage and deal with these curved balls that keep being thrown at us. And it depends on if we're in a good place, then we can catch them and run with them. And what I mean by that is to have the ability to be resilient and to be creative, but we have to protect ourselves, and within this environment of uncertainty and unpredictability, then it's so important that we build this resilience within, that we become more creative, that we protect our interests, and that we focus on what we can do. So it comes back to that again, and you may have heard me saying this in previous sessions, that to focus on what we can do is what can help us stay sane and stay in control of ourselves and our lives and our businesses and our family, our relationships. It's very easy to get caught up in anger and frustration and impatience and all of that stuff which can come with an uncertainty. But it really it doesn't help us, it doesn't serve us, and it just distracts us and takes up a whole load of energy and time, so that we're not focusing on what we really need to be. And so I want to really reiterate this, reinforce this point, that to be able to shift your attention over to what you can do is going to be so much more helpful to you, and stay away from getting caught up in all the drama and the stuff that you can't do anything about. So keep it local, keep it to yourself, keep it within your close relationships. These are the areas that you can manage. So protection, finding ways to protect yourself, and maybe that's a bit of pre-planning. Consider contingency plans, so that you are putting things in place, to preserve and protect yourself and your business, whatever your circumstances are. Having contingency plans can really give you peace of mind, knowing that in the event of some unexpected situation, that actually you've got this in place and you've got that in place, and this person you can contact, and so on and so on and so on, whatever your circumstances are. So protection comes in different forms, of course, and it will always be determined by your own personal circumstances. So yes, being prepared was something that I was taught in brownies and girl guides. So for all of you who are involved in any organisation like that, it's one of the first things that you're taught, and it is really, really helpful. It's a great life skill, and it gives you peace of mind, so you can go to sleep at night knowing that you've got things in place. So let's see what the additional message is. You, your loved ones, and your possessions are safe and protected by heaven. So, you know, whether you believe in heaven or not, or any higher power or anything of that nature, to have some belief that there is something else is really helpful. And when you are sharing responsibilities and sharing burdens and sharing problems and sharing difficult challenges, situations, etc., it does lighten the load, you know, to invite somebody else to maybe give their take on whatever it is can be another way of helping you to prepare and to come up with some action plan or contingency plan so that it gives you this additional protection. Can be really helpful. But sometimes just to let's say offer it up, offer it to some invisible power of some sort which is always looking out for you, which is always there to help, can be a comfort when we may feel totally disempowered, when, in other words, when we feel that we haven't got somebody that we can go to. It can really help. It can just soothe your mental well-being to just consider that there may well be this bigger power, something bigger than you or me or anything, you know, human, can be really helpful and just bring that solace, that reassurance. So just consider that and play with it. Yeah, just see how that feels. But the picture reminds us, to be held, to be lovingly held in this way and supported. It really changes everything. We can surrender ourselves into that loving embrace. We just know that we're safe, and actually that's what a human is always seeking, to feel safe when we're not feeling safe. Finding ways to get that feeling where you're not looking over your shoulder, you're not always looking for that thing that sets you off, that puts you on edge. This is so important to find the things that actually make us feel a lot better and calmer and more hopeful. Actually being filled with hope is really significant. It's such an important factor. So finding things to provide you with hope, finding people who speak in a way that gives you hope is going to be much more energizing and give you feelings of protection, that you are protected. And that's actually, when you think about it, what is it all about? What are we all about? What's our purpose? What's the point of being here? If we're not meant to be here to have fun and to be enjoying a life that every moment opens up new possibilities to us, and new opportunities to learn something. So, the challenges that we have in life are always lessons to be learned. And once we've had them, of course, you never forget, do you? The bigger the lesson, it's like, I'm not going there again. I know how to deal with that. You might not say it quite like that, but you know what I mean? You're getting the drift of this, that it's easy to get caught up in the drama, and we get stuck. That is a terrible place to be in, when we're it's like Groundhog Day, and things just keep going round and round, and actually there's a theme, and we start to see these things coming up again and again. It's like, oh, flipping heck, not again. But we've got to learn the lesson, and once we do, then it doesn't happen again. These things don't happen, I promise you, once you've learned that lesson. So so make sure that you become aware of the things that you are doing or the things that you are thinking, and you then, it shifts and it turns it all around. My goodness, what a difference that makes. Okay, so let's just, whilst I'm talking, let's just do a bit of tapping. So we're tapping this new knowledge in, and we don't know what we don't know. That is a fantastic little saying which I find myself repeating quite regularly. So just tapping here, just under the collarbone. This is a very key part of the tapping sequence, and you can do this at any point in time. So we don't know what we don't know, and we're always doing our best with whatever it is that we may be dealing with whatever the circumstances are. Just know that you are always doing your best with the information that you have. And that goes the same for the people that you may be involved with. And sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but they too are doing the best that they can with the information that they have. And sure, we make poor decisions, you know, and there can be reactions and it's not helpful, but that is part of the learning lesson that we're talking about here today, you know. And the important thing is to reflect upon it without blame towards yourself or to anybody else, but just have the aim to learn from that experience, because then you give yourself the opportunity to do something different next time round, you know, because what tends to happen is that we project onto other people and we blame them. But when we get into that blame culture, that's the thing that ends up going round and round, and the lesson comes back again in different ways, but it's still the same blooming lesson. So this is why having an awareness of these things which are going on and the part that you're playing is really helpful. It's really helpful, because that way you can change the things that you're involved with, you know, that you are saying, that you are doing. But you can't change what somebody else is thinking, feeling, or saying or doing. You can't do that. None of us can. We're not here to take responsibility for other people's actions. We are only ever responsible for our own, and we can only ever change our own. There's only me inside of me and you inside of you. So once we know this, we can't unknow it. Do you know what I mean? So once you know it, you know, it becomes very much a part of your psyche. It's in your consciousness. It's there. And that changes everything. It changes everything. So it's really powerful and potent. Whoa. Right, we've covered a lot this afternoon. How are you feeling now? Feeling safe? Feeling grounded? So remember, the tapping can help you. Remember to place both feet consciously on the floor, on the ground. Even better if you're in bare feet. But it doesn't matter, you don't have to be, but you know, there is definitely a different sensation and a different response when you do this. So whenever you get the opportunity, go barefoot. It's very earthing. You ground yourself very quickly, much more quickly. Take that rescue breath. Breathing out those stresses, those strains, those pressures, those unwanted thoughts, those unwanted feelings. Give yourself permission to breathe them out. Let them go. Let them go. And feel the connection of the soles of your feet and the floor. And remember, the floor is supported by the ground. Even if you're up on a first story, second story, or whatever story building, everything is supported by the earth. And everything is energy. So wherever you are, you're connected to that, to the earth. So when you bring your attention to it, you very quickly, well, instantaneously, as soon as you bring your attention to it, you are absolutely directly connected, and you get this solidarity, this feeling of solidarity and this safeness, a bit like being an oak tree, you know, where those beautiful big trees which have very strong root system going all the way down to the earth. So imagine yourself in that way. So you have that capability to move with the elements, yeah? But yet you're firmly fixed into the earth. And it gives us feelings of safety and security. Hey, very good. I think this is a good place to bring today's session to an end. So, hope you've found that useful. Hope there's been at least one thing there for you to take away. Go and run with, go and practice it, and see what happens. So we've got a whole weekend, again, a few days before I come and see you once more. But in the meantime, remember, find ways to feel protected. Get yourself protected on all levels. It makes such a difference. I'll post a photo of this in the comments. And as always, one final deep breath in. Very good. If you need any one-to-one help, just get in touch with me. Send me a message. You can always go over to metawellbeing.com or connect with me here on Facebook, Meta Wellbeing with Susan Gardner. And I'd love to hear from you. Please share if you found this useful. The one-stop shop is very appreciative of your support. And again, remember, there's lots of other fantastic videos on this page from some other great people who just might bring what you need. Okay, bring it to the surface. It adds to your life tool bag, so your kit bag, and it's always there. Remember, come and visit often. Okay, so good to be with you this afternoon. Lots of love. Bye for now.